H2H, the Super Bowl special, the last episode of H2H for this NFL season here. Tasos, we can already see who you're rooting for, it looks like. But we're going to talk some Super Bowl bets today. We're just going to talk Super Bowl overall. We don't have the normal format. Usually we're spinning the wheel going round by round, but I think the Super Bowl special moving forward will just be kind of like a casual recap the season, which we unfortunately have to do in a second. We'll also just talk Super Bowl, some fun novelty props and all that stuff. So I'll throw it over to you, champion, winning season one, the inaugural season of the H2H. Not only winning it, like my ass is a permanent bruise on it because you just spanked me all year long. So don't appreciate that, but how you doing?
Doing good. Just want to break this out real quick.
I knew it. I
had to. That's this season, first season of H2H. First and foremost, thank you to everybody who's been watching all year round as I try to clean up some of this mess I just made. Thank you to everybody who watched this year. This has been a lot of fun. Obviously, this is just one season. We're going to be back next season. But you know, Ev, you're always going to remember who the first champion ever was of H2H, and so that's I live in history. You know, no matter if you win
just
it next
pick up
year,
your money.
Listen, if I win it, if you win it next year, it doesn't mean as much as this one. This is the inaugural season. You know, it's the first ever champion, and it's me. And like you said, I didn't just win it. I beat your ass red. You know,
I said
bad.
it. You don't need to say that. I said it already. The people watching
I know.
know
I'm
that.
Just, you know, all of this is what we did all year round, which is this. You know,
it was a good season overall. Like we had.
I will say
though, of a week.
I will say though, it was interesting. Like we both made it because I had some really bad weeks towards the end. You had some good weeks towards the end. Apologies, by the way, we didn't do conference championship week. I have the worst immune system in the world, and I was sick again, so I literally couldn't record. So we didn't have a video for the conference championship. But yeah, no, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to come off as too much of a tool. But you know, it feels good to be the champion. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm envious of it. Like, you're right. The first winner, like, I get that. The one thing I'll say is, like, who, you know, no one really remembers come the third one. It's like the inaugural, yeah, you can always point to it, but at some point that fades out, and it's like, well, what have you done for me lately? So we'll see midway next year if people really care that you won the Super Bowl, won the head-to-head last year. You'll always have it. You'll have the notch in your belt. But
listen, as of right now, I'm the only champion in the history of H2H.
It's very
and
true.
I have that title for at least
a long time. Yeah, it's a long time before we crown another one. So that is very, very true. But yeah, I mean, just to talk about the show overall, like, yeah, we gained a lot of viewers and subscribers during the show's time. We do a lot on the channel, but this is definitely a really cool video that we do each and every week. We missed last week, but you can't control like something. So overall, missing that 1 week was fine. And now we're here for the Super Bowl. So again, this is going to be a little bit different. We're just going to kind of like just chop it up, talk about the season, talk about the Super Bowl. No wheel, no round by round, because honestly, Tasos already won it. Like, it's not coming down to this game.
I already won it, and let's be honest, you're a little scared. The wheel gods, you know, they've done enough to you this year. Actually, I can't even say that because the wheel gods the last half of the season have been cruel to me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the fade gods got me. The fade gods got me. I think
this is our 20th episode too, right? This is our 20th episode.
Yeah, I guess so. So there we go. But but guys, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. I also want to shout out Outlier. Outlier, great partner of the channel. This is Super Bowl special. We'll be referencing some props and some lines that we get from Outlier and Trends. If you guys want to try it out, check out the link in the description. You get 7 days free with Outlier. But let's talk some Super Bowl, Tasso. I mean, why don't we just talk sides first, because you're literally looking like a 49ers cheerleader right now. So I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, if it wasn't a spoiler already, I am riding with the Niner gang. It's funny because a lot of people, I'll see on some videos, like I'll wear certain jerseys. I love sports apparel. And so like I'll have like some people who are like, aren't you a Patriots fan? Listen, the Patriots are number one and the Niners are number two for me. They've always been, my mom is a 49ers fan. I have been a Niners fan for a long time. I loved Alex Smith when he was the Niners. I love, obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo when he went from New England to San Francisco. That kind of reignited my love for the Niners. And then I'm just a Kyle Shanahan guy. He won us a Super Bowl with the Falcons, 28-3. So I'm always appreciative of him for that. And I like the Niners. I love George Kittle. I love Christian McCaffrey. I just love their team. So I have a lot of close friends who are Niner fans too. So even though we're in New England, there's a lot of Niner fans in our area, surprisingly. So, you can call it bias. You can call it a fan side, but I do genuinely think the Niners, this is what, their third Super Bowl appearance in the last 12 years. I think they're due. Like, they lost the last two in tragic fashion. Like, I think it's time. And I know Kansas City, I've seen the numbers. The public is all over them. They've got like over 65% of the bets are on the Chiefs. I just think it's their time. It's the Niners' time. I think the Chiefs, they've had a good, considering, I think this is, I keep saying it, it's not like an original take. A lot of people have said this. I think the Chiefs this year remind me a lot of the last Patriots Super Bowl team in 2018 when, they were a good team, not a great team, but they're experienced and they knew how to win games ugly. And I think this Chiefs team is kind of that same vibe where like they're not as good as they were last year. They're not as good as the first time they won the Super Bowl versus San Francisco. Their offense has really been kind of inconsistent, but they have a good defense and they just find a way to win these games. So I give credit to them.
They have Patrick Mahomes, which, to your point, the Patriots had
Brady.
You know what I mean? So it's like and not to interrupt you, but what I will say is like the 49ers are super likable, and we talked about it before we hit the record button. It was like everybody, I think, wants the 49ers to win. Even anyone outside of Missouri probably is like, or any Chiefs fan is like, I want the 49ers to win because they are likable. It's crazy. You have Brock Purdy, great story, right? Christian McCaffrey is like does nothing wrong, likable superstar. And the Chiefs are, for all intents and purposes, a very hateable team, especially to like us Patriots fans, because I do think Patriots fans are a little insecure about the like, oh, Mahomes is kind of encroaching on Brady.
I was just going to ask you that too. I wanted to ask you, what are your feelings on that? Because I've seen a lot. Because the thing is, like, as much as I hate to admit it, we always say that what the Patriots did will never be replicated. Chiefs are being replicated. The
Chiefs are in progress of doing it, like to the T, like you said. Like this is a team that it's like I told you on the show. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. Wouldn't be surprised if and then look, like the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. Like
and they have a Patriots feel. They have a Patriots feel to them, like I said, where it's like every year the Patriots won the Super Bowl. It's not like they were like 15-1 or 14-2, and they were always like this juggernaut. Like there were a lot of years they went to the Super Bowl, and it's like. Honestly, we were as Patriots fans, we're like, wow, I can't believe we got here.
Yeah.
And they won. And it's like I said, look at the Falcons Super Bowl, the Rams Super Bowl, the Seahawks. The last three championships, none of them were pretty. You had the Malcolm Butler interception. You had the 28-3 comeback. That Rams game was a slugfest,
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I will say, like, so I like the Chiefs just because of what we're saying. Like, it's not surprising that they're here, and it wouldn't surprise me if they win. I want the 49ers to win, which is going to be like a weird, like, betting the Chiefs, but like kind of being like, wow, let's go 49ers. But
it's kind of a win-win. It's kind of the perfect scenario. I think that's why
one of them's definitely a loss, and one of them is like if the 49ers don't win, I'll get over it. Do you know what I mean? If I put a bunch of money on the Chiefs and they lose, it's like, well, that's a tangible thing that I just lost. So I guess.
But I think that kind of is the rationale for a lot of people is like, you know what? Yeah, I'll lose my money, but at the very least, and it's a lot of it's the Taylor Swift angle. It's like at least the Chiefs won't win, and the Swifties will be losers, and which I don't know how you feel about that. It can be annoying sometimes, but I don't think it's as serious as some people make it. No, she's really not on TV that much. She's really not on the screen that much.
It was at first, and that's where like a bunch of people were like, "Oh, fuck this" and all this, and it's like, dude, they flash to her as much as they do like the girlfriend in the national championship game in the crowd. Now, exactly. You know what I mean? It's like whatever. Yeah, she's like usually they're like, who's the guy that went like nuts over like AJ McCarron's girlfriend or something? Do you remember that? It was an announcer and he was like,
yeah.
It was so creepy. But like they do it to that level now where it's like whatever, like it's still Taylor Swift. I get why they're doing that. The one issue is like if like you won't hear the end of that if they do when she runs out on the field.
Yeah.
Like that'll be the annoyance. But I'm over the like, oh, they keep showing no, they don't. They show way more football than Taylor Swift now.
I think Jason Kelce gets more screen time in these games than she does. Like I think they have like data of it, which is crazy the fact that they're tracking it. But like I think like I think it was the conference championship or the divisional round, she had like a minute and 4 seconds of screen time in like a 3+ hour broadcast.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, there she is again."
It's people yelling. It's old man yelling at the cloud. It's like whatever. Like, but yeah. So like I said, I'm on the Chiefs, so we differ there. But like, it's a very. I'm not like I would not talk you out of the 49ers. In fact, this game overall, I don't know if either side could talk because they're very different reasons. Like the 49ers on field should win the game. The Chiefs, for what the Chiefs are, should win the game. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's like, are you the flash, not even the flashy team, but are you the best team or are you just the best franchise? It's like, that's how I almost look at it in a weird way. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like, I'm not going to throw a million units on the Chiefs. Like, I think that it's going to be a good game, and it should be a good game. And the 49ers are a likable team. The Chiefs are a team that we don't really like. And Patriots fans, like I said, like Mahomes is doing stuff that you could see him becoming the greatest in a sense. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, he would need the Super Bowls, but like already like talent wise, I guess not really. That's not what I'm trying to say, but like new age football wise, Mahomes is doing things Brady's never done. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what are we gonna do here? But nonetheless, we do have you got some any props or plays that you want to talk about in this one too?
Yeah, so for plays, I am going to take the Niners money line. Like I am going to bet them
Okay.
straight up. I do think for them to be -1, I'm not going to take the spread 1.5 because I feel like this game could be a 1 point game. That could be that close.
Yep.
It's at -120 on DraftKings right now, so I'll take the -120 on the money line and rock with that. I just like I said, I like we talked about already. I just think this is the Niners' year. I think that they've had. I think the other thing, it's so this it's funny because I saw so many people, including my friends of mine, who like when the Niners and Chiefs both made it, everyone was so pissed off. Like I'm not watching it, and oh, this was the worst matchup. I don't. If you're a football fan, I don't know understand how you say this is a bad matchup because these are two teams that have superstars on both sides of the ball. They both had these points in their year where they were like really bad. Like the Niners had that 3 or 4 week stretch where they were awful. The Chiefs had a 3 or 4 week stretch where they're awful, and they both found a way to overcome it and make it. Those are the
Yep.
signs of a great team. So these are truthfully the two best teams
Yep.
in the NFL going head to head. I think it's gonna be a fantastic game. The key here for San Francisco is what will Brock Purdy do? Because the Chiefs' weakness, which is why Baltimore, I don't understand what the
Wow, the
offensive
game
game
script,
plan
yeah.
was.
Wow.
Why the Chiefs, their one weakness on defense is their run defense. Why did they not run the football down their throat? And I think the Niners will not make that same mistake between McCaffrey and Debo and Elijah Mitchell. I think the Niners are going to run the ball down their throat. The question then becomes when they need Brock Purdy to make the throws,
Yep.
can he make the throws? And it's kind of the
Because
same thing the last time they played with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? They used the run game to dominate, and then they needed Garoppolo to make those throws, and he
yep.
couldn't.
Yep. I
So
mean,
it's literally the exactly same scenario.
it's interesting because Brock Purdy, wouldn't you say he's the only guy that's kind of like could be out of his like if this is out of it off, like he's not on this level in a sense. He's been good all
Yeah.
year. I'm not saying that, like I get it, but if you're talking about key players in this game, Mahomes, Kelsey, McCaffrey, Kittle, then you go. I mean, even Ayuk and Debo, like these guys are
Yeah,
all like
Purdy's down on that list a little bit.
Purdy is the low man on the totem pole in terms of importance to me. That's not me saying he's not going to be able to be able to thrive. But if it comes down to dropping that, that Mario Manningham, Eli Manning pass in the breadbasket, does Brock Purdy have that in his bag? One, and if he does he have it in his Super Bowl bag? That's where it gets a little like, oh man, like big play. So I agree with that, but I do think, like I said, I couldn't talk you off of 49ers money line because yes, he's the quarterback, but they've built so much around him that it's like
They're stacked.
it doesn't matter. Like where it comes to the Chiefs things, it's the exact opposite. Like I'm thinking the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like they have
Yeah.
the issues in the defense, and even I mean their pass defense is good, but their pass defense is aggressive. And even like Snead will get calls. And this is going to be a very like, this is a Super Bowl. Like the refs are going to be on top of it. The Chiefs can't do anything stupid. They're less disciplined in a sense defensively than San Francisco. But I think it's like Mahomes carries the weight here. I'm sure the 49ers are going to key in with, even Greenlaw and Fred Warner. They're going to be like keying in on Kelsey, hitting him when they can and all this. But Kelsey may just be too good that he can still be the go-to guy. And you know what? Not for nothing. Rashee Rice is pretty damn filthy now. Like he's definitely they now have a go-to receiver. So it's almost like for the exact opposite reasons. That's why it's so funny how these two teams are yin and yanging. Like the Chiefs, I like because of Mahomes. The 49ers, I like because of everyone but the quarterback. But ultimately, it's me. I'm looking at the Chiefs. I'll probably take the points and maybe money line as well. The money line I think is only like plus 110 or plus 105.
Yeah,
So
it's low.
splitting a unit or something between those to get those points and potentially win it. But yeah, like I don't think, I mean, other than saying that the Chiefs could be lucky to even be here right now, like I don't see how it's terrible for people to look at the Chiefs. And like you said, the public's all over it. The money's all over it too. So, you don't really have a read in the room. But yeah, I like the Chiefs here, plus the points as well as money line. Do you anything on the total for you? Because this is one where I didn't really I didn't really love that
So
number. It's a pretty sharp line.
it's tough because, like I said, these are two great defenses. The problem is that they both have a distinctive weakness, and these are two teams that can absolutely abuse those weaknesses. Like the Chiefs, this defense has been awesome all year, but the one area where they can struggle is the run defense.
Run, yep.
What are the Niners fantastic at? Running the football. On the
Yep.
opposite side, the Niners defense, what are they great at? Getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. What do they struggle with? Big plays. They
Yep.
give up some big plays sometimes. And what do the Chiefs do? They're a big play team with Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce and all that stuff. With Mahomes, they're a big play team. So like that's the tough side of it. I can see a lot of points being scored. I could also see a grudge match. So it's tough. I almost thought about doing like a teaser with the over and then like the Niners or even like the Chiefs, because I don't think this will be a blowout. Taking the points with the Chiefs and doing like a teaser, make them like +8 or +9, and then you take the over. I'm trying to look right now what the public's on. The sharp action right now and the public are on the under.
Yeah.
So that's a little interesting there. I probably won't touch the total. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't something that jumped out to me whatsoever. Like, and the way that the Chiefs, I'm pretty sure, like their second half defense has been like ridiculous in the last whatever.
Insane.
So it's like you would hate for this game to be trending over, and then all of a sudden it just pump the brakes. You know what I mean? So I'm probably not on much of the total, anyways. Like I wouldn't dare take the under with Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Like what was the final score of the last year's Super Bowl? It was like 60 something. You know what I mean? Like
last year was a high scoring one.
Yeah,
but the last time these teams played, when there was Niners Chiefs, I think it was what 43-40 or 44. 23-20 or something like that. Wasn't it like a lower scoring game?
I don't remember, but I guess to that point, it's like, well, they're like that's right there, still and under, like a little bit of a issue here. So let's see, do I have that?
It was 31-20. So actually, no, it was a pretty high scoring game, 51.
Yeah, so I don't mind the over, but again, I don't think either one of us are saying race to the book and hammer it. I don't mind the teaser idea. I do have a couple player props I want to talk about if you want to jump into that. All right, so I told you this one already, and you said you liked it. It's like a strategy player prop play, so it's not an outright just like whatever. But Christian McCaffrey for a first half touchdown is +130 right now in sportsbooks, and he's also, if you find the right sportsbook, +130 for a second half touchdown. So the way I'm playing this is taking both of those individually. If one of them cashes, yes. If only one of those cashes, you're not making that much profit, but it's profit nonetheless.
It's profit, yeah.
He's very well could score in both halves. Like it's Christian McCaffrey, you know what I mean? So this is a spot, and I think he's had 2 touchdowns in the 2 playoff games so far as well. So like it's no shock that like, or it shouldn't be shocking if Christian McCaffrey comes in as like they get in the 10 within the red zone. It's like Christian McCaffrey, because I don't care if a defense keys in on him. He is that good, and he's the reason that they're there. And they're not going to, this is the 49ers with Brock Purdy, like we talked about. You get near the goal line, you're not going to say, hey, Brock Purdy, go do this for us. You're going to say, hey, Christian McCaffrey, go do this for us. So again, this is a Brock Purdy first half touchdown. Right now, that's +130 on
Christian McCaffrey.
Caesars. What did I say? Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
Okay, so Christian McCaffrey. Let's be clear. Thank you. Even when we
you don't want to take Brock Purdy. You don't want to take Brock Purdy anytime touchdown.
I mean, well, I wonder what that pays. But all right, so Christian McCaffrey +130 first half touchdown, and then you flip over to the second half touchdown. It looks like it's +125 now, but still profit either way if one of those hits, and there is the chance that he cashes like he did last week. I think he had a first half and a second half touchdown on both of those, and I just like the spot. I don't know how you can really, not think that happens in a sense. So yeah, I like that spot.
He literally has been a touchdown. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's like in his last 19 or 20 games, he's only had one game where he didn't score a touchdown. Like it's insane. Like it's actually a really smart.
Like they want him. Like they try to get him his numbers, which it's. I think you got a little bit of because it's not crazy to if technically speaking, like you could do something similar just by loading up on him to score one touchdown, right? Like it's -250 or whatever, but the potential of him scoring in both halves is there for this. So if you just took his over 0.5, even if he scores 2, you're not getting any reward for that, right? So that's why I like splitting this between first half and second half.
Yeah, no, it's honestly a smart strategy because, like you said, the only way is if he doesn't score at all, then you're a double loser. But again, the data doesn't show that. The data shows that the guy scores touchdowns, and the thing is with him is that he can do it receiving, he can do it rushing. You know what I mean? He can do it in a bunch of different ways. So yeah, I like the strategy. Like I said, and like you said, even if one doesn't hit, it's not let's say you put $100 on both. you still make a $30 profit if he only hits
Exactly.
one. So you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like
yep.
you still make your money back. You make a small profit. If you get lucky and you get the touchdown in both half, you're a big winner. You win, $260. So
Yeah, and again, that's what I would stress to anyone watching, or if you do want to tail this, it's like that's my way of also taking McCaffrey for one touchdown in a sense. Because again, if you're paying, I think it's like, let me see, I actually have it up.
it's
For
probably
one
minus
touch
200 or something like
it's
that.
minus, let's see, for one touchdown, it's minus 230. So
Yeah,
it's like,
that's not worth it.
and if he scores two, you get screwed. You don't get anything for that. So here at least there is the like you kind of get the same bet, but there's potential to, actually cash on it. So yeah.
No, I actually probably will tell you on that one. Like I'm
Let's
happy
go.
we're not actually doing like head to head because like
It
we
is
actually
weird,
like
right?
collaborate
Weird,
a little
like,
bit on these
yeah,
picks.
it's weird. Like people are like, oh, they like each other.
We're not actually like dicks to each other in real
Yeah.
life. All right.
By the way, guys, let us know before you go. Yeah, let us know in the comments, one, what you're rolling with, and two, if you're jumping on board with any of these. So yeah, we kind of want to ride this all together. This has been a great community that we've built and throughout the season and whatnot. And let's have some Super Bowl wins together, because usually it's either Team Tasos or Team Ev. Now it's just Team H2H. So let us know in the comments if you're riding with any of that pick or any of the picks that we're talking about.
All right, I have one here. I have two that I really like, but this is the one that I love the most. I am going with Deebo Samuel over 70.5 rushing plus receiving yards. Deebo Samuel is Brock Purdy's best friend. Next to it's McCaffrey and Deebo. Like he loves, and you can see it when Deebo's not on the field. Purdy's a different player. I think when you do the rushing plus the receiving, I think the Niners will absolutely play some tricks where they use like some jet sweeps with Samuel, or they use him in the running game, and then obviously in the receiving game, he's going to get his targets. I also kind of like him for anytime touchdown. Also, I don't have that odds right in front of me right now, but I do like
Outlier
him.
And find it really quickly. Plus 155 right now. That's over on FanDuel. DraftKings plus 135, MGM plus 140, Caesars plus 140.
I would probably take. I would go Deebo anytime touchdown score, and I would do Deebo over 78.5 rushing plus receiving yards. I just think Deebo will be the key to this game for Brock Purdy. Like I think he's kind of Brock Purdy is technically the X factor here, because obviously if he doesn't show up, the Niners aren't going to win. But the thing here is I think that like McCaffrey, obviously we know he's good. We know, but I think Deebo Samuel is the piece that the Chiefs, I think, will have the hardest time covering, because again, he can kill you with the run, he can kill you in the passing game. So I love Deebo Samuel in this game to have a big game.
Yeah, I don't mind looking at him for, I guess, both of those, because the one thing, like, who would be the receiver, and it's Deebo, spoiler, that if Brock Purdy's having a struggle type game, who do they try and finesse the game plan to try and free up? The most dynamic guy on the field, which is Deebo, you know what I mean? Ayuk is great, and I like,
he loves Deebo.
Exactly. I love Ayuk too, but like, he's more of just like not your standard wide receiver, because he's not standard, but you know what I mean? Like Deebo will be the guy that, whoa, that's a weird route, or they put him in a crazy motion, or he gets a screen pass at the running back position. Like they'll try and mix Deebo in like that. And Kittle, like, even though I like Kittle in this game too, not really one of my like plays, but I'm sure in my NFL video it'll be a play that I give away. But for H2H to mix it up, I'm probably not looking at Kittle much in this spot, but I do think that like he's a good safety blanket-esque, but he doesn't run these short routes. Like Kittle's going to be like a depth of target guy, 10 yards, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And he kills man coverage, which the Chiefs like to play. But again, I like your Deebo spot just because it's like, well, this is a team that, or a quarterback that everyone has their doubts about. We sure as hell do, as we're talking about it. Deebo is going to be the guy that is able to free up and get mixed in regardless of how Brock Purdy is playing. And yes, he's a safety blanket, so yeah, that'll be like the go-to guy. But even if Brock Purdy is just overwhelmed and not playing well, which I don't know if he will be, but that's like the doubts, right? Deebo Samuel is dynamic enough that they'll get him in the game. It's not like, oh, Brock Purdy, bad game, Deebo's going to suck. So good spot there. You said, was it 79.5? So he just needs to get to 80.
Yeah. 80, he needs 80 total
receiving
yards, which I think is between rushing and receiving, which I think is, I don't want to say it's a guarantee because there are no guarantees in sports betting, but like it feels like a guarantee to me. It feels like it just feels like it's going to be a lock. Like, because the Chiefs are going to be pressured. That's the big thing with Purdy here. Is they're going to do the same thing they did to Lamar in the conference championship. Spagnuolo's going to bring pressure, and I think Purdy's going to have to get rid of that ball quickly. That's going to hurt someone like a Kittle or an Ayuk, who they play more of those longer developing routes. I think that Deebo he gets open so quick. I think he's going to get targeted a lot.
Yep, I don't mind it. Speaking of pressure, I'm going to move into another play that I like, and it's
Yep.
another plus money play. Chris Jones over 0.25 sacks. Now, if you look at the numbers and even look at the matchup, you'd be like, oh, that's not that, it's not a lock or not guaranteed or anything like that. But there's a couple reasons I like this. One, Chris Jones gets after it, and he was getting after it to no avail against Baltimore or Buffalo. He did have a half a sack against Miami. Last time he played the Chiefs here, which was, I want to say in 2022, he had 2 full sacks. We only need him to get a half a sack. Like, he can put his finger in there and get a half of a sack and cash this for plus 130. And it's kind of like, yeah, the numbers may not back it, but it's a flyer at plus 130, right? And 2, like, the Chiefs, the way that they're going to get to Brock Purdy is what? You already kind of said it. Go at him.
Yep.
If you were to pick someone on the Chiefs to go after the quarterback, it'll be Chris Jones. Now, I don't know if I'd
100%.
take the same pick if it was over 0.5 sacks, right? But 0.25, that's on DraftKings right now, plus 130. Like, he can, again, just be near the quarterback and kind of fall on him and get a half sack. And that just looks too good to me. I'll be the only one in the at the Super Bowl party that jumps up when Chris Jones like arm gets tangled into a sack, and they're like, "What did you just bet on?" But I like the spot, and again, it does come down to the plus money play. You know what I mean? Like, if this was minus 110 for a 0.25, it's like I still think he gets it, but plus 130 for what can happen by accident in a sense, which I don't think it will be, but like what can happen by accident, I like the spot.
No, honestly, Ev, it's crazy, but I'm gonna be tailing you in all these picks. Like I love that pick. I will be the other guy at a Super Bowl party who he gets half a sack and I'm going crazy, jumping up and down for it.
Looks like we're tailing each other. We're tailing each other all. This is like the kumbaya after a bloodbath. It's like we boxed for 12 rounds, and then at the end we shake hands. This is what's happening.
Exactly. It's like the prayer circle at the end of a football game. Like, you just beat the shit out of each other for 2-3 hours, and then you're hand and arm on your knees praying. But no, I like I said, Spagnuolo, I think their game plan and their strategy will be exactly the same as it was versus Baltimore, which is bring the blitz, bring the pressure, make Brock Purdy uncomfortable. And like you said, of that Chiefs defense, a little personal bias, George Karlaftis, he is Greek. So, I hold him personally near and dear.
He'll be the guy that gets the half a sack with him. Like, I would almost guarantee that. Like, if you could bet on that instance to happen, like they combine for a sack, that'd probably be a huge payout. I 100% think that could happen.
And a quick little funny story. I'm half Greek. My mom's not Greek, but I consider myself to be 100% Greek because we celebrate that side of the culture. My mom's a Niners fan. My dad's a Cowboys fan. My dad is going for the Chiefs only because the Chiefs have a Greek player. That's the only reason why my mom. Like, you would think that he would side with my mom and go Niners. Nope. They have a Greek kid on the team. He's got to go Chiefs. He says, awesome. I owe it to my country to go for the Chiefs. So
your dad owes it to the country. That is awesome.
Yep. But no, I think I agree with you 100%. I think Chris Jones, he's half a sack. It's
exactly.
Again, there are no guarantees in sports betting, but this feels like a lock to me.
God forbid he gets a half a sack.
And God forbid he gets his finger, in the jersey of Brock Purdy.
You're telling me you can't picture this. Chris Jones, the fastest off the line in that Chiefs defensive line, right? Brock Purdy sees him coming, kind of like just, falls like a lot of quarterbacks do, and Chris Jones taps him on the back. I can picture it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's
a full sack. There's a full sack, and it's like, yeah, that wasn't really a sack, but like, it's because Chris Jones just blew up the line. And again, this is a really good 49ers line. Like, they're not allowing a bunch of sacks and whatnot, but at some point when you look at some of these defensive players, it's like, okay, well, Chris Jones, no matter how good an offensive line is good against double teams, and you know what I mean? It's like he'll still be able to have his chances. Like, he's not going to get locked up. Maybe it's less chances than if they were playing, a really bad offensive line team, but he'll have his chances of coming near sacks. You know what I mean? So I like this spot.
I think the Chiefs, the way they play with Spagnuolo's defense, I think they're going to get Purdy at least 3. You got to imagine he'll be sacked at least 3 or 4 times in this game.
There'll be volume.
And if he gets sacked 3 or 4 times, you got to imagine that Chris Jones will be involved in at least half of one of those 3 or 4. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. I'm giving plus money bangers out, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
That was my strategy in the weeks that I won for H2H were the weeks that I just took plus money. So I guess we're sticking to it. Yep, plus money F. What, you got anything else that we want to talk about?
Do you have any more real props, or do you want to move into like the Super Bowl specials?
Let's move into it. I would say, like I said, I'm right there, like looking at Kittle to some degree too, because he by far is the guy that breaks man defense down, and the Chiefs play man. But
yeah, I like Kittle receiving yards. Yards.
So I would say like that's right there. If I would mention that, but it's not really something that I'm overly on.
Yep.
But yeah, let's get into some novelty ones. You started off.
All right. I like how you did that because you're not really sure. It's okay. There's one now. I'll be honest. I don't have the odds in front of me. I just know this is one of the bets that's every year. It's the coin toss. And listen, I
These are the
might
ones
sound like a
these are the
broken
ones that we
record.
should all be riding with in the comments. Like these are the ones
Yes.
that like the coin toss should be it. In fact, comment coin toss if you made it this far in the
Yeah.
video.
Guys, drop all the novelty props, all those crazy ones. Drop them down below. I love seeing this stuff.
Yep.
Tails never fails. And so I'm going tails. That's my first novelty prop. Tails never fails. I'm going with tails in the coin toss. I don't have the data in front of me, but I'm pretty sure tails is like it's cash. Like I think it's like a 60% or 70% hit rate last 10 Super Bowls. So
Weighted
I'm
coin. It's a
riding with
weighted
it.
coin.
Yep.
I mean,
Listen, I
imagine
love it.
if
I gotta go tails. I don't.
imagine
That's
if
one of those bets. It's one of those bets where like if it goes heads, I'm okay with it. Like I'm okay with losing
yeah,
on that because tails
that's
never
what I'm
fail.
saying. Imagine if I had a counter to that. Like I'm like, no, dude, no, you gotta take heads. It's like what? Based on what? The literally the cost of the toss of the coin.
The way the wind blows on it that day.
Exactly. So all right, I'll ride with that. One novelty that I like is looking at it's jersey number based, right? We talked about it. First touchdown scorer on DraftKings right now, the line. So what is the jersey number of the guy that scores the first touchdown? The line right now is 22.5. No kidding. It's, because of CMAC and whatnot. So anyways, if you look at these two teams, you do have Kelsey, Kittle, and then obviously Christian McCaffrey that are higher than 22.5. But it's almost like everyone else that could be a touchdown threat is lower. So I think that's a line that like, you almost fade what I do think the public's going to think. Oh, Christian McCaffrey, let's take the over, which it probably will be that. Like, I totally get it, right? But you have Debo, you have Brandon Ayuk, Isaiah Pacheco, the running back of the Chiefs, as well as Rashee Rice, and then you have both quarterbacks. What if there's a QB sneak or something like that? Both quarterbacks on the other side of it. So I'm going volume over, quantity over quality, right? Because it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. Like this immediately gets a loss because Christian McCaffrey is going to probably have more volume than all those guys combined. But I look at that and I'm like, I think I'm the contrarian. I think everyone's going to think McCaffrey, Kelsey, and the books know that as well. Give me the under on that, which is a weird one because it's not just a toss-up. Like there is a lot that can go into being like, well, Christian McCaffrey's red zone volume is going to be more than them. Like maybe this isn't the right side, but there's more guys that could do it, in my opinion, on that side.
So I like the spot. I have one other thing to add. I actually have a little parlay off of that. So I'm combining the under with one of the under the jersey number 22.5. Combining that with my earlier pick, but a little spin on it. I'm going Debo Samuel first touchdown scorer, parlayed with the under 22.5 jersey number, and hope that it just cashes. And that's, again, don't put your life on it. Don't put your house on it, guys. Just sprinkle a little something on there just because the payout, if that hits, it's going to be insane.
That is, yeah. And again, like I think everyone watching this, and even we both know, it's like, well, it's probably going to be McCaffrey. Like this is very fine-tuned.
More likely, yeah.
But you never know. You never know.
Listen, God forbid Debo Samuel just scores first touchdown.
And think about how this is correlated too, right? Okay, so it doesn't help your parlay, so forgive me for a second, but based on what I've gave, right, like Christian McCaffrey first half touchdown, if he does hit that, then you know what? It covers for even this potentially not happening in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I think we're scamming the books here. Yeah, it hurts the Debo Samuel first half, so I get it. But like, you know what I mean? Like it could be.
I just envision a nice jet sweep. Debo, he makes one cut inside, he cuts outside, runs up, touchdown, and then boom. Not only does that hit, but then also first touchdown scorer hits, and now whatever else happens in the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter because we won big.
It's going to be tough is that like freaking Watson or whatever his name is going to get like a touchdown catch and he's like number 80.
Exactly. It's going to be that or like Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah. Like
somehow Elijah Mitchell get in the game for the Niners and go in or.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, I do think that you could parlay that with the first touchdown score for the Niners to be even a little bit more safe, I guess. Like that.
I was gonna say, you could honestly bet both. Bet the Chiefs, do both of them. Bet the Chiefs first touchdown with the under, and then Niners, and then if they don't, you're guaranteed to hit one of them, unless
but not the
somebody
under,
over 22.5 jersey number hits. So
All right, what else we got for we have the
I got Gatorade color.
yes, you do. Yep, go for it.
I'm going yellow. Red
Yellow.
just seems too easy to me because it's two
Yellow
red
is
teams.
green, right? Like technically that's
Yellow,
always a
green,
debate. Like,
yeah.
okay,
Yellow
okay, I
slash
gotcha.
green.
Gotcha.
Yep. I there's a couple different odds. Let me see what I had. MGM had it this morning. I'm trying to see here what the
You're
odds
right
were
though.
on that.
Red seems like it'd be too easy because of
Too easy.
like
Purple's the
but
favorite
also
according to MGM. Purple's the favorite at
purple?
plus 275. Yeah, plus 275.
See what they
Yellow
know that
slash green is plus 375 right now.
what they know that we don't is like what Gatorades these two teams have been like drinking all year and stuff. So it's like tough, but purple, that's purple. What purple like that that I guess it's purple. I've seen purple Gatorade, but like is
Oh,
that a
actually, I'm
common
stupid. I'm so stupid. If you just scroll the screen over, it shows the odds on every sports book. So on BetMGM, it's at that numbers. On DraftKings, it's plus 225 for purple. It is plus 300 for yellow. On
okay.
FanDuel, it's plus 390 for purple, plus 390 for yellow. So I guess if you're going to bet this, go FanDuel. They have
Okay.
the red slash pink is plus 550, which I'm actually shocked because I feel like it's too easy to bet. You know what I mean? Like they're two red
Yep.
teams, but I'm
Yep.
going yellow. I actually hit the Gatorade one, the Bengals Rams Super Bowl. I had blue, and I remember I put $100 on it. It was like plus 550, and I remember I had that was one of my best Super Bowls because I had the Rams and I had the Gatorade bet, and I was like, holy shit, I won like over $1,500.
Can you live bet that, do you think? Or does that
I
go
think so.
away?
I think you can bet that all the way up until the end of the game.
So what that's like couldn't you kind of try and see what color the Gatorade is or do they keep that one
Then they keep
like
the lids on top of them. So unless somehow you really keep close and you see what they're pouring in that cup, I guess. But I'm pretty sure the camera crew they're probably pretty
it's
good at
also
staying away from the Gatorade.
yeah, they also probably have
Cannons.
like a special Gatorade container that's a different color than what they've been drinking all game that they dump on it, like that type of thing. But
Can you
all right, well,
imagine? There is you can bet for no Gatorade bath
no,
plus
that's it.
1,600.
When's the last time that happened? It's a thing now. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, then there's also you could do water. Maybe they're doing a little healthy. They dump a little water on you.
You
Plus
think
plus
Andy?
1,000.
You think Andy Reid potentially like if they win, Andy Reid's getting water on him, dude? No, he's got a tub
No.
of cheeseburgers hitting him in the back. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm good with water. I mean, I could see Shanahan and whatnot being like healthy and like he gets some sort of like electrolyte juice, which is Gatorade, I guess, dumped on him. But yeah, I mean, looks like we're riding with green because I don't have an opinion
Yeah.
on this, and I'm not or yellow.
Yeah, try
I'm not
and
gonna
debate me on this. Try and argue
exactly.
with
What I
Gatorade
will
color.
say, it's not debating, but you're so totally right that red would be like you'd think because of the team colors, but like think about that. Would you drink red? Like yellow is the objective, like during the game. Objectively speaking, I would say yellow and then the light blue one are like the
Yeah.
in-game sort of fruit punch Gatorade is so like it's too heavy to drink during game, I would say.
Well,
So
not
it's
only
not
that, but
bad.
like I think now people like I don't like red Gatorade personally. Like, I think like society kind of made it clear that like red dye drinks are not good for you. So like I
Yeah.
don't know if that really goes into it, but I just don't like you said, it's too strong. It
Yep.
is it's wild that purple's the favorite because I'll be honest, I don't drink purple Gatorade. Like I
I
don't know
barely
where that.
see purple Gatorade. Like if you go into
No,
7-Eleven right now, it's not easy to find purple Gatorade.
no, like unless it's like the Gatorade Zero purple, they have
Right.
a
That like
purple one,
light,
but like
yeah. But like now you're just
now
talking
you're
like
really going deep if you're thinking it's going to be Gatorade. That should be a one. Like, do you think it's going to be Gatorade Zero or Gatorade?
yeah, that's true. Or like is it definitely Gatorade or are they on to Powerade or something now?
Yeah, purple
Like we got
Powerade's pretty good. I like
wow,
purple Powerade.
imagine the scheme of like sportsbooks being like no Gatorade. And then
Oh,
no one takes no Gatorade
that
because
would
it's
be
like, yeah, by
crazy.
the way, it was body armor.
It
It's
was
like,
Powerade.
screw you. Yeah, screw you guys. But all right, we're
Imagine
riding.
one time, like the guy who's in charge of the water boy, Bobby Boucher out there, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna put a bet up. Hey, Uncle Bobby, put a bet on no Gatorade. I'm gonna put Powerade in this bitch.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome. That'd be so funny. But all right, we're riding with yellow, green. I can't debate you on it. I won't. We'll cash it together. And then I think the last one, like novel. You don't have any other ones that you'd found, right? Because the one that we
I
talked
have the national anthem one.
national anthem. Okay, yeah. What do we think there? Because like this is one where I feel like it's always under. Right, like in the last few years, I feel like that's just me feeling. I don't have the numbers here, but
I've done a
Reba
lot of research
McEntire.
on this app. I've got a lot of research to
All right,
provide
you
on
take
this
it away.
prop.
You take it
All
away.
right. So the line, it's Reba McEntire. The line opened at 83 and a half seconds. It has skyrocketed up to 90 and a half, which tells me that people are hammering the over on
Yep.
Reba. I'm going under. When the
Yeah,
when the public
I'm in.
goes up, I go low.
I'm
Going
in. And
under
that's
here.
that's
90 and a
7
half
seconds.
seconds. 90 and a
Yeah.
half's a long time. I'm going under.
And I think always people are like, oh, like the country twang, it goes over. And it's like, even Chris Stapleton did he sing it? And then he hit the under or something. I could be
Yeah.
wrong there, but it's like Luke Bryan, like everyone thinks that, oh, it's country, it's going to be slow. It's like, well, there's still like if you really drag out the national anthem, it's pretty bad. You know what I mean? Like you drag it out too far. I don't really
Like
know the
who
typical
was
timing.
it was an NBA game, but wasn't it Fergie that had
That
that
just,
awful like she
yeah,
tried to
yeah,
do her
yeah.
own spin on it?
Yeah, and people are like, "What are you doing?" But so yeah, I like the under there just because again, like you gained a lot of value waiting it out. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
we'll even see where it goes. So that's another novelty one that
A
you know
7-point increase? Like that's crazy. Go 83
seven
and a half,
seven
90 and a
second
half?
7 second
7 seconds.
increase.
7 second. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm used to talking about points,
I
not
mean,
time.
think about that from a guy's perspective. You're like, give me 7 more seconds. God, everyone's feeling great. So I mean, but
Listen,
I
could
do,
always
I
use a
do.
few more seconds.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing here. Still taking the under though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I do like the fact. I think that people are going to be like Reba McEntire. She talks slow. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with her music. I know like some of like the just big songs, but like she's also just I could see her just being like, yeah, I'm going to do this by the book, like just normal national anthem, and it's going to be under. That
Reba
might be our
McEntire,
biggest
she's for the
guarantee.
people. She's for the
That might
people.
be
The under's going to
yes.
cash here. She's going to keep
That's
it
our
nice and quick and tight.
that's the show's guarantee. I think that
Yep.
that's the show's
Yeah,
guarantee.
that's my
She's for the
bet of the
people.
day. Under 9 and I
That's
honestly, I might even go live on the channel and just live reaction to the
live,
national
go for
anthem.
it. That's awesome. Go for it. And the coin toss. You have like
The
everything.
coin toss, yeah, all in one
Forget
in the first 10
first
minutes
touchdown
before the game.
and
Could
the
be
first
either
touchdown
really happy or
scorer.
really sad.
You have first touchdown scorer. You have coin toss. You have Reba. The only thing that's keeping you to the end is the Gatorade.
That's it. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't have to watch the Super Bowl. And I don't think do they have
Exactly.
any props on commercials. I feel like commercials they're not the same anymore because now they release them all before the Super Bowl actually.
And they're not. Yeah, they're not like. They don't have the same like vibe too. Because like, what is there's been cool ones in the past. They usually do like an election one. Like, will there be which politician will come up? Because they always do like some political ones first because they have such eyes. But I don't know. I haven't seen any commercial props. I'm sure there will be, but yeah, I guess that is that's what we got. A lot of fun stuff in there, but some good quality, like truly game wise bets that we threw your way today. So guys, let us know in the comments if you're tailing with any of these. Tasso, I don't know if you have anything else for the people to close up shop. You did win this season, so the floor is yours to close out the show.
Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching all year round. We will be back next season with season 2. I will be, as I am now, the champion. Just gotta. Oh, I didn't. All of it went behind the camera. God damn it.
Yeah. You're gonna come in with a Super Bowl ring for next year, aren't you?
Honestly, I
Tassos will drop
might
like
look
$500 on a ring. Yeah.
I might look into a ring just to flash it for episode 1. No, but for real, like
And you wear it in your videos. You wear it in your videos for moving forward. That kind of, if you could buy like a rinky dink cheap like Super Bowl like esque ring plastic, kind of cool.
I think I have like a fantasy football ring that I'd won a couple years ago in one of my leagues that I could probably pop on. Hey. But no, seriously, this show was awesome. This was so much fun to do. Evan and I, we kind of talked about doing this for a while, and honestly, it came out better than I could have ever expected. And we're just getting started. Like, there's probably going to be more changes, more improvements moving forward. But I had a blast doing this. Like, recording these videos was never felt like work. It always was like, all right, we're just going to go shoot the shit and just it's fun. It's fun. It's a fun time. I think people enjoyed it. I think people felt that energy. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all year round liking, subscribing. For the people who joined in and actually got into the competition of it, and we're always commenting Team Tasso or Team Ev, and that's what makes it the most fun is seeing other people engage and seeing them take it seriously and actually treat it like a game show, which is what we kind of were going for. But
100%, yep,
feels good to be a champion. That's nothing more I can say about it.
I know, I'm sure it does. I don't know that feeling, but I do echo all your sentiments about the show overall. Like, yeah, at shows we'll get sappy and say like thanks and all that, and it's true though. So channel's grown a lot. Channel will grow even more before we see you again on this show. Maybe we'll do some sort of like preseason predictions one for H2H just to get the thing flowing. But just we're not going anywhere on the channel, so you guys will have access to it. So thank you guys very much for all your continued support on the show. It's not work. Like, we have fun here and we're blessed to be able to do this to thousands of people, which is pretty damn cool. So appreciate if you're, a half of one of those people. Like, that means a hell of a lot. So that's all I have. Happy Super Bowl betting to everybody. We got some fun stuff going on. Tasos and I will both hit our head on the ceiling when Chris Jones gets a sack in the first play because he has everything going at the front end of this game. So we'll catch you guys in the
bang bang Niner gang. Let's go.
All right. We'll catch you guys in the next one, which will be in a while.
Yeah.